thing working here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh my freaking god, what is wrong with you? Come on. It was just working here. It was just working. Finished, and then eventually put some solar panels out. Outside, which gives you electricity. He sends running water with a pump. That's basically like a garden. He apparently also took time to put up a fence. And then we would basically see all this, and then of course Maria basically is wondering what the heck is going on. Of course, he's been putting the house together while basically running a stall. Eventually, he's closed off for a few days, so he gets some more digging on. And then Primera basically stops by because she's been curious, where the heck has he been? And she's the house. Get a chance to try his bath. Of course, basically, he does not want to see her butt naked yet, because he thinks he's a bit too old for it. Despite the fact she's actually 18. Yeah, she's 18 years old. Also, I kind of forgot she was here. The girl at the inn where he was staying at. Yeah, she basically makes a brief appearance in episode 3, just to wave goodbye to her. Because I don't remember her appearing after this. I think she may have been dropped from this series. I think she was introduced to the world. And now she's done. Despite the fact she's in love with Kenichi. Would she come back? I don't remember if she did. Nope, this was the last time we saw her that I can think of. So, and of course, we also have where Primera sets up a bed for her so she can spend the night. And then, of course, she explains basically to her father next day, which he does not overreact, basically like he does in the manga. In the manga, it's like, where have you been? Like, been at his house. I'm glad the fact he's more understanding in the anime than he was in the manga. He is actually not mad at Kenichi, basically. He didn't do anything. They slept in beds. Later on, of course, basically they do share a bed after basically going back to the house multiple times. And then eventually, where, oh, by the way, then the knight who basically stopped by, who basically bought his sword in the previous episode. Yeah, he comes back here. I think his name is Noribawa. They call him North Pole in and here they call him something else, but here it's like his name is North Pole. Yep. So he just happens to come across basically Kenichi's place, where, well, you see he's basically like keep all his secrets, which of course he does. In exchange, give him some metal. Yes, some metal to build himself a fancy new sword, which he does. And after all the primary stuff done, eventually after one night, he decided to spend the night in the same bed, just sleeping, not doing anything adult-wise. And then, then she leaves. And time passes by, okay, time for her to come back. And then, of course, she's informed, oh crap, she's been kidnapped! Yes, by Soga. Yep, who has the blue hair girl as his captain when he took a previous episode. Yep. Yeah. And of course, Kenichi, of course, sees this, and of course, he volunteers to go rescue her, looking for the funds, which he uses to buy a truck and buy weapons. And this why I think he asks him if he wants to volunteer. No one wants to help at all. Nope. Except for the fact that Miui basically shows up, and then the Beastmen, along with the Knight, North Pole, the old man who was basically the toolmaker, who was a retired adventurer, including the other keeper who basically cooked food. A bad idea. Of course, she hits up front, basically inside the truck. Everyone else basically relaxes in the bed. By the way, United States is actually illegal to do. You know, have people right in the back. For short distances, it's fine, but for long distances, it's actually illegal to do. In the U.S., I don't think it's illegal in other countries, but as far as I can tell here, well, mostly in Florida, it's illegal to do that. But for short distances, it's perfectly fine. So then, of course, they're from. Oh yeah, their base is basically this old ruined castle. Which, by the way, there's this woman there who is barely killing on, and of course he gets shoved to the side, and there's this mysterious lusty noble who had hired him to kidnap Chimera. And of course, the plan to rescue her is to Miui basically just use a walkie-talkie. Yes, a walkie-talkie, which of course he doesn't call that. He calls a magic communication device, but technically that's what it is. It's walkie-talkie. The guards, everyone's drunk, like perfect timing. So the old lady, she is behind to, well, keep an eye on stuff. So, oh, by the way, the cat's name is Matheroy, not Miui. I was thinking different anime. My apologies. Yeah, so then they break into the fortress. Of course, Mare kills the two guards. The old man blasts the door. Everyone's drunk. And then basically, North Pole, the three beastmen, and of course, Mage can't do any more big spells. So they all kill a lot of the bandits. And of course, Kenichi summons the backhoe to whack a bunch of these guys. But yes, when he's doing it, yeah, it would basically kill them. But before this, he got a drug, basically, just form of a nut, and it's like where, and of course he knocks a wall out with a thing like OCC's people. But before this, Pyra, who's basically throwing herself in the air, she's being chained up, but she's given food via a piece of bread, which gotta keep her healthy. Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, basically, we see this girl play a little. And of course, she's thinks his God show up. Basically, it just basically Kenichi with his backhoe, which of course basically is, and of course Soga the bandit has Pyra by the throat, and then proceeds to rip her shirt open. A little bit different when it in the manga. In the manga, basically, it was like a whole belly was exposed. In the anime, it's like they just ripped from basically where a collar is and just show a little off. And of course, Kenichi basically saves her while the bandit himself was killed by one of the Beastmen. And he, of course, keeps her chest covered because, of course, there's two other guys there to want to see her chest. And technically, she's the only guy who has to see her chest because one at a time, basically, she was visiting him. She actually stood up and he saw her chest, but she didn't say anything about it. Now, the thing is, he thinks he might be too old for her because, here's the thing. In the anime, he's 38 years old. In the manga, he's like 37, which is the same age as me, by the way. I'm almost 37. Yep. So, then, of course, basically, like, they, of course, get all the girls new clothes. The blue hair girl basically gets new clothes, too. We find out her name. Yes, her name is Omi. That's her name. That's what I can pronounce it. Yep. And of course, basically, she's, well, and of course, we also reveal that, we also reveal that Emma had basically had, though for some weird reason they say child, even in the manga, basically she had more than one child, were killed in a plague. Here it's like one child. And then, of course, y'all spend the night at the Rune Castle. And that ends that two-parter there. Really good 2 episodes. I was really hoping for this. It was basically the first big action piece the whole series so far. And we're only 4 episodes in. Oh, by the way, also, when I think was doing construction once again, Ma-Ray decided to sleep on top of Kenichi, topless. And no, she doesn't do anything. She just likes sleeping on top of him for some reason. Don't know why, but that's basically how it is with him. Yeah, I would not be surprised, basically. Now, the thing is, at this point, Kenichi's seen her topless twice. But he doesn't react much to her chest because basically it's covered in fur. But that's kind of how it is here for some reason, despite the fact I've seen her series where, yeah, well, I'm not going to go into it. Because basically now we'll get into something else I don't want to talk about right now. So, that is pretty much it to discuss this particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, we have 2 comic corners. The first one focusing on the Punisher. Okay, next video. Bye.